a mother, beauty queen, and devout churchgoer. How did Lori Vallow Daybell, seemingly ordinary and loving, become a key figure in a shocking saga of apocalyptic prophecies and murder? Her story is a chilling descent from devoted mom to the convicted doomsday mom. How did the unthinkable happen? Born in 1973, Lori Noreen Cox's early life seemed conventional. After 2 brief marriages, one of which brought her son Colby, Lori married Joseph Ryan in 2001, and her daughter Tylee was born in 2002. Friends described her as a doting mother. In 2006, she married Charles Vallow, joining the LDS Church. They adopted Charles's grandnephew, JJ, who had special needs. Lori cultivated an image of a devoted wife and mother, even participating in beauty pageants. This was the mother chapter before her life took a dark turn. The turning point was meeting Chad Daybell in fall 2018. A self-published author of doomsday prophecies, Chad, a former gravedigger turned supposed visionary, met Lori at a religious conference. Despite both being married, they felt an instant connection and began an affair. This wasn't just an affair, it sparked catastrophe. Chad allegedly convinced Lori they were reincarnated spouses destined to lead 144,000 survivors of the apocalypse. He pulled her into his perilous world of light and dark spirits, portals, and the terrifying idea that people, even family, could become zombies. Their bodies hijacked by dark entities, their original souls banished. Lori, already fascinated by spiritual visions, fully embraced Chad's teachings. In early 2019, during their divorce, her then-husband Charles Vallow claimed Lori believed she was a reincarnated god and had threatened his life. These were clear warning signs. Their core delusion, they could identify dark individuals, or zombies, whose bodies needed to be destroyed to free the original spirit. This horrific belief became their justification for murder. Chillingly, Lori started claiming her own children. Tylee and JJ were zombies possessed by dark spirits. The deadly results of their beliefs emerged in July 2019. Lori's estranged husband, Charles Vallow, was shot and killed by her brother, Alex Cox, who claimed self-defense. Initially uncharged, later evidence suggested premeditation, and Lori was convicted of conspiracy to murder Charles. In October 2019, Brandon Boudreaux, ex-husband of Lori's niece, was shot at. Alex Cox was again the suspected triggerman. Brandon was in a custody battle with his ex-wife, Melanie Pawlowski, who was also involved in Lori and Chad's beliefs. Lori was later found guilty of conspiracy in Brandon's attempted murder. After Charles's death, Lori, Tylee, JJ, and Alex Cox moved to Rexburg, Idaho, near Chad Daybell and his wife Tammy. This is where the true horror began. Tylee, 16, was last seen September 8, 2019 at Yellowstone. JJ, 7, vanished September 23rd from his school. Lori gave contradictory excuses for their absence. On October 19, 2019, Tammy Daybell died suddenly at 49, initially ruled natural causes. Just 2 weeks later, Lori and Chad married in Hawaii, raising suspicions. JJ's grandparents, Kay and Larry Woodcock, grew concerned and requested a welfare check in November 2019. Questioned by police, Lori and Chad gave evasive answers, then fled to Hawaii in December without the children. They stonewalled authorities for months, defying a court order to produce Tylee and JJ. The case drew national attention. The search ended tragically on June 9, 2020, on Chad Daybell's Idaho property. Investigators found Tylee Ryan's dismembered and burned remains. JJ Vallow was found buried in a pet cemetery, bound in duct tape. The nation was horrified by the gruesome discovery. Lori was arrested in Hawaii in February 2020, Chad in June 2020 after the children's bodies were found. In spring 2023, Lori's Idaho trial began. Prosecutors argued religious fanaticism, greed, and manipulation drove Lori and Chad to conspire to murder Tylee, JJ, and Tammy. Motives included removing obstacles to their relationship and collecting Social Security and life insurance money. Witnesses described Lori's dark beliefs, her claims the children were zombies, and her indifference. In May 2023, Lori was found guilty of murdering Tylee and JJ, conspiring to murder them and Tammy, and grand theft. She received multiple life sentences without parole in July 2023. At sentencing, Lori showed little remorse, speaking of conversations with Jesus and the deceased, claiming they were happy. Lori's legal battles continued in Arizona. After her Idaho conviction, she was extradited for 2 more conspiracy to commit murder charges. In April 2025, she was convicted of conspiring with Alex Cox to murder Charles Vallow. In June 2025, representing herself, she was convicted of conspiring with Alex in Brandon Boudreaux's attempted murder. Sentencing for these was set for July 2025. Chad Daybell's separate Idaho trial began spring 2024. Evidence showed him as the prophet fueling deadly beliefs and participating in the murders. His defense claimed Lori manipulated him. On June 1st, 2024, a jury found Chad guilty of murdering Tammy, Tylee, and JJ plus conspiracy and insurance fraud. He was sentenced to death and is on death row. How does a mother become a monster? Lori Vallow Daybell's case suggests a storm of destructive factors. Evaluations pointed to delusional disorder, hyper-religiosity, and personality disorders with narcissistic traits. The apocalyptic beliefs shared with Chad Daybell offered a twisted justification for murder, recasting victims as zombies whose deaths were necessary. Was she a true believer, a cunning manipulator, or both? Chad may have exploited her vulnerabilities. Financial motives like insurance and Social Security benefits also played a key role, as prosecutors argued. Her transformation from a caring mother to a calculated killer was profound. Lori and Chad's crimes left devastation and shattered families, marked by betrayal and incomprehensible acts. Survivors like JJ's grandparents, Larry and Kay Woodcock, and Lori's son Kobe Ryan expressed immeasurable grief. The case exposed the dangers of extremist ideologies and charismatic leaders, raising questions about missed warning signs. Lori Vallow Daybell has appealed her convictions but remains incarcerated for life. Lori Vallow Daybell's story is a chilling reminder of a catastrophic moral fall. This mother, whether driven by delusion, manipulation, or malice, murdered those she should have protected. Our Mother to Monster describes her horrifying change, leading to the deaths of her children Tylee and JJ, Charles Vallow, and Tammy Daybell. Her legacy is one of betrayal, bizarre beliefs, and murder, casting a long shadow. The why may remain elusive, but the devastating consequences are undeniable.